Hi everyone, I'm Sarah and welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be bringing you my Reading Rush TBR. I don't really know what I did with my hair today. I don't know if I'm like looking at it and I'm like, I don't know if I like it, but it's fine. We're here now. We're gonna do this. It's great. So the Reading Rush is a week-long readathon that is hosted by Ariel and Raylene. And the general idea is just kind of to get you reading. The only way to really win the event is to just read something. And so I like that it's a little bit more laid back. It's no secret that I've been having a bit, I feel like I've been in one long reading slump for a while where I'll get out of it to read like one book and then I'll get right back into it. So I kind of like that there's a little bit more, it's a little more laid back, I guess. That being said, I did pick a book for each of the 7 prompts because that's just how I am. I tried to go for a bit of a mix of genres, and I think I did pretty good with mixing the genres. The only genre I don't have in any form is nonfiction, because I am a very slow nonfiction reader. I like to take my time with it. I like to really sit with it and think about it. And readathons really aren't meant to really sit with your thoughts for a while. It's kind of like a let's read quick. So that's the only genre that I really don't have. Prompt number 1 is to read a book that matches your birthstone cover. I was born in November, so I'm a topaz girl. I know it's called like citrine or something now. I had ugly topaz. I'm sticking with ugly topaz. Sorry to everyone else who's born in November who might really like that birthstone. But guess what book it works for? The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty. Now, topaz or citrine is kind of this brownish, goldy color. This is a book that, if you followed my channel, you know that I have had on my TBRs. Like, I think this will be the 3rd TBR that this book is on this year. It's a bit intimidating because it's a bit thicker. But I really, really want to read it. I know the last book in this trilogy, I think it just came out at the end of June, or it's coming out at the end of July. I think it just came out, actually. But I might be getting my dates confused. So this is a series that I have been super, super excited about. I have wanted to read for a very, very long time. I'm really, really going to read this book during the Reading Rush. It's got to happen, guys. It's just got to happen. Prompt number 2 is to read a book that starts with the. I'm actually pretty lucky that I have tons of books that start with the, so I had a lot to choose from. And the book I ended up choosing was The Bad Beginning by Lemony Snicket, which is the first book in a series of unfortunate events. So, confession, I've never actually read this series. I have them. I would like to read them. So I thought I would put this book on my TBR to kind of get me started and hope for the best. Alright, so prompt number 3 is to read a book that's based on a film or TV adaptation that you've already seen. I was really torn with this one because I wasn't, because my TBR is a bit thick right now. So I was trying to find a book that was a little bit shorter. And so what I decided to read was The Wonderful Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum. I obviously have seen that movie multiple times. It was pretty much a staple of my childhood, but I've never read the book. I don't know why I've not read lots of books for children when I was a child. I just never did. I don't know. Maybe I just wanted to be older. Who knows? So that's the book I'm going to be reading. I know that there's a whole series of stuff that happens in Oz, but from everything I can see, this is the book that most closely resembles the movie, so that's the book that I'm going to be reading. Prompt number 4 is to read the first book you touch. So I have this idea. I'm going to put these 4 books in the bag, dump it, and just grab one. And the books I have, these are all they're all romance novels because I really like historical romance. It's a really fun, easy genre for me. I know what to expect going in. It always works out the way I expect, and it's nice. This one is The Lady's Guide to Celestial Mechanics by Olivia Waite. Then I have Penelope and Prince Charming by Jennifer Ashleigh. Conspiracy and Death by J.D. Robb. This is more of a futuristic crime detective police-ish story than a romance, but romance is still pretty heavily in there. How to Catch an Aaron Earl by Amy Rose Bennett. And then the only one that's not a paperback is A Hope Divided by Alyssa Cole. But you know, okay, so I'm gonna mix these guys up. And then, oh, I hear it like crinkling. I hope I'm not ruining any of these books. Okay, you know, I'm gonna close my eyes, dump these out. The Lady's Guide to Celestial Mechanics by Olivia Waite. So this is a historical romance that is between two women that also deals with astronomy, where I believe one of the women hires the other one to do some translation work for her dead husband's astronomy notes, and they end up falling in love over it. So that's exciting. So prompt number 5 is to read a book outside the house, to read a book outside in kind of whatever way that means for you. So what I have right now that I'm thinking of doing is to listen to Citizen by Claudia Rankine, which is, I know I said I wasn't going to read nonfiction, that's right. Whoopsie, I forgot. It's a kind of lyrical, I don't even know how to describe Citizen. It's kind of a lyrical essay collection, I guess, but also poetry. I did read this book back in 2016 and absolutely loved it, so I'm really excited to listen to the audiobook. So my plan is to read it while I walk around. I might go, because it's only, I think it's less than 3 hours, so I figure I can go for a couple of walks throughout the week and listen to it while I'm doing that. If for whatever reason that becomes not the case, I'll just pick a different book and listen to it and or read it while I sit by my window and play something like an outdoor ambiance type of video on YouTube. Prompt number 6 is to read a book in a genre that you've always wanted to read more of. I decided to read House of Salt and Sorrow by Erin A. Craig. The House of Salt and Sorrow is a gothic-y horror fairy tale retelling of the 12 Dancing Princesses. It's a book that's been on my radar for a while. I actually tried to read it when I was in grad school, but it was not approved of. It wasn't an approved reading for the books that I had to be reading. So unfortunately I never got around to it. It has been on my list, and I know that Charlotte and Ashleigh from Myth Take Reads are reading it for their book club, so it is a book that I would like to read for that reason. I don't really read a lot of gothic or horror. It kind of freaks me out, but I really love gothic fiction and gothic romance, so I do want to read more in that genre. And then the 7th and final prompt is to read a book that takes place on a different continent to where you live. I currently live in the United States, so I can't read anything on North America. So I chose The Guest List by Lucy Foley, which takes place on an island off the coast of Ireland. So this is a mystery-ish, maybe a thriller that takes place, like I said, on an island off the coast of Ireland over a wedding weekend. And it seems as though there's like a murder and everybody has kind of a motive or a potential motive. It reminds me a little bit of like And Then There Were None or Murder on the Orient Express, I guess, in the sense of it could be anyone or no one, is the vibe I'm getting from this book. This is also Kayla from Books and Lala's Gratefully Dead book club pick. It was the pick for June, I just never got around to reading it. So I'm going to try to read that this month because it does sound really, really good. Yeah, I'm just realizing how many books I'm picking because of other book clubs. But hey, you know, kill two birds with one stone. It's all great. Now, because I know myself and I know how I operate, there's a very good chance I won't read all 7 of these books. So I've shortened it to find a couple of the books on my TBR that can be read for multiple prompts. So obviously, The City of Brass hits quite a few of them. It would hit prompt number 1 to read a book that matches my birthstone, to read a book that starts with to read a book on a different continent, and also it could count to read the first book you touch, as this was the first book I touched in this TBR video. So this would hit 4 of the 7 prompts. So I would also read The Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum, which is a book that was that a movie or adaptation was based on that I haven't read yet. It would also be a book in a genre that I would like to read more of, since I don't read any children's book and hardly any middle grade. And it could also be the book that I read outside if I put on a YouTube ambience soundtrack and picture and sit by my window, since I wouldn't read that one physically outside. As long as I read those 2 books, I'll have hit all 7 prompts and it'll be great. I would love to be able to read all 7 books because that would just be stellar. But you know, we'll see. You know, who knows what the next couple of weeks will bring at this point, to be honest with you. I will see. Let me know in the comments below if you've read any of these books, if you're participating in the reading rush and what you're reading, if we're reading any of the same books. Let me know, because then maybe if I know someone's reading the same book as me, I'll feel more compelled to read it, because I am competitive at heart. I can't help it. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of my videos. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope that you have a fantastic day.